Hi, my name is Kyle Holcomb, and today's date is September 19th, 2023. Today we will be filming a video source inspection for this SRD here, style 440F. I'm going to go ahead and get it started and make sure all the DI water starts to circulate properly around the system. Before we get started, and it looks like the DI water is purging out the back of the system. Okay. Also give the serial number of this SRD. The serial number is SRD-01509. Since our videos are uploaded to the web, we keep our customers' privacy. I'm going to provide a PO number and a location for this system. In this case, I will use the original PO. Within a year, this is a new system that we sold to our customer. So this is actually a warranty repair sent in for evaluation. So kind of a rare scenario here, but the original PO number for this order is 1401686, and the customer is located here in the US. So basically with this 440F model, as we said, the F models usually stand for an older style SRD system. As you can see with this in particular, it's got the upgraded S1 slick device. This is a Sitek made controller here. If you could zoom in a little bit, it pretty much lays it out for you all functionality wise. Right in your face, it shall show you exactly what step in the recipe you're in, how many seconds are left in that recipe, and what RPMs the cassette is actually traveling at inside the chamber. So this system was sent in for severe vibration. So what that means to us, with any vibration issues or anything like that SRD-wise, our first move would be to be looking at the rotor for imbalances inside the system. We did not find any imbalance with the rotor. We actually, upon evaluation, we found that the drive plate is basically a metal cylinder that sits on the back of the rotor. It also has a long tube through the top that sticks through the motor. So it's on both sides. It's connected to the motor, and it's also on the back side of the rotor. So it plays a major role in the spinning of the system. So what we found was that drive plate was worn down. It was actually bent. So we were able to pinpoint exactly where that extreme vibration was coming from, and exactly what the next step for us to repair it was. And again, that's a typical thing we find is that drive plate is to be misaligned. That is what leads to some severe vibration in the field. So I'll basically walk you through, like I said, this is an evaluation service. It's a little different than the standard refurbishment process that Sitek is known for. So basically we're running a standard spin rinse dry process today. We're going to start by rinsing the substrates to get any unwanted particles off at about 600 RPMs. Followed by a purge setting to dispose of any excess water out of the DI lines. That also runs at 600 RPMs. And it'll walk you through it basically on this slick device. It'll tell you exactly what step in the recipe, and it actually has all functionality tests for parts inside. So when there is troubleshooting problems or you don't know exactly what happened with the system but it's not completing the recipe, the slick device will actually has its own alarm for which part of the system and which part of the recipe is giving you a problem, and this light will display by going red. You'll know there's an issue inside the system. The SRD goes into a dry 1 where it'll run at a much higher RPM but for a shorter amount of time. Dry 1 uses force to remove the water from the substrates, so again that dry 1 is moving at a high RPM to fling that water off of the substrates. Finally, the SRD will enter dry 2 where the RPMs will slow down but will spin for a longer amount of time. So we'll see it's kicked in now into dry 2. It's got a higher amount of seconds that are counting down now, but the RPMs are at a much slower pace than that 1800 that was in that last step. This will engage to dry any remaining water off of the substrates. So now I'll walk you through the extensive Sitek refurb process. So first we take each tool and break it down all the way to its component level, which basically means we take the tool down to its bones, separate the parts and test them for individuality, for functionality. We clean and electropolish all metal parts. We inspect all poly housing and replace all consumable parts necessary. Once all parts have been inspected and prepped, the SRD will be moved to our dry quality control area. In our dry quality control area, the SRD heads are built up and inspected again prior to having any facilities installed. When the tool passes the dry quality control, it will be removed to our wet quality control, where the SRD will have all facilities installed and tested for complete functionality. Once the head assemblies pass both wet and dry quality controls, we install them into the final configuration, which we can see right now would look something like this. And again, with this final configuration, you can note that the slick device was actually, this looks like a custom poly for this 440F, whereas the controller might have been located somewhere else on the tool down inside this, or it could have been on top. We just replaced and pretty much remanufactured the poly to make this slick device fit perfect inside there. Sometimes our customers will send in their SRD head assembly alone, in which case it would be installed into poly housing somewhere in the fab. Lastly, we run each head assembly a minimum of 50 times with varying process recipes to ensure the SRD is ready for a plug-and-play installation straight into your fab. In addition to SRD refurbishments, Sitek also offers 100% of spare parts and service to support all your units. We're stocked with most any parts needed to perform repairs required to keep your SRDs up and running. So this includes motor repairs, controllers, controller repairs, amp repairs, which are the motor controllers, windows, door seals, heater blankets, ACR valves. All these parts and service can be found on our website at sitekprocess.com. Sitek not only offers SRDs, we also provide a variety of other equipment to the front-end wafer fab. This includes box washers such as the HTC 8010, 8020, and 8030, mask cleaners such as KNS and Ultra T, photoresist pumps, pump repairs for IDI, Cyber, and Millipore, metrology tools, barley ashers and etchers, and microscopes. So as you can see, Sitek offers anything to aid in the service of your front-end fab equipment needs. If there's anything I did not mention that you're curious about, please don't hesitate to reach out. So we'll take a look now to see how much time is left. It looks like we have just about under 50 seconds remaining. At the very end of this process, what you'll see is the RSP kick the cassettes up into the 12 o'clock position. That is how we know that the recipe has been run and completed. So we have about 30 seconds left. And again, on this slick device right here, this is a Sitek owned product. You can see it lists all of the parts inside right here, and they will go green once they've actually run through the recipe. So we got about 19 seconds left. We'll let this come to the end, and then we'll see the RSP kick that up into the 12 o'clock position. And again, things we did to this tool, serviced it for heavy vibration. We replaced that drive plate in the back, and we rebuilt the motor twice. So we can see now we've got an alarm here. It says that the system is breaking, and it's just kicked up into the 12 o'clock position. And the slick device is telling us that the process is complete, and we are now able to open the door as the light goes blue. I can feel the N2 purging. It looks like our substrates are dry and complete. And that will conclude our VSI for today. Again, my name is Kyle Holcomb with Sitek Process Solutions. Thank you for your time.